Hi, my name is Lynette, and I want to talk about how Abacus is really beneficial for children. When we're when we're teaching our children, we teach them how to read, and that's like the big thing when they're young and learning their ABCs. And so then hopefully, showing Abacus to children as well introduces math, how to count and how to read the abacus and so forth. So, what is an abacus? Well, an abacus is this thing. This is my teacher's abacus. So, then teachers use this to help show students how to read the abacus. Here is my student's abacus, and this student's abacus is usually lying flat on the table so they can move the beads. So the beads are the same as these beads on the teacher's. However, if you have it vertical, then gravity will take place and gravity will push everything down. So the idea is to have it flat like this. So here is the student's abacus. You can get this. I have it on my website. You can get it from me. I like this one for the young children because there's the colors, and you can also introduce colors as well as talking about numbers. So let's continue on and understand what the abacus is. Well, this is the abacus. This is the lower beads compared to this beam. This beam is what makes the beads count. So when we're counting, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. All the bottom beads has a value of 1. And then because we have no more beads, so this is 4, this is 3, 1, 2, 3. This is 2, 1, 2. This is 1, 1. But notice that there's only 4 beads at the bottom. Well, to do the top bead is 5. All the top beads has a value of 5. So then when we do it, we actually we add, right? So we do this, 5, 6. This is 6. So this is also introducing decomposing. So they can see that if I take away 5, I get 1. If I add 5, I have 6. So then this is 7. 5, 6, 7. We add 5 and 2. This makes 7. 8 is, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 8. And then 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Abacus is also great because it also shows us how to do place value inherently, right? So if I need to go 10, just as we do 9 here, 10 is 1 and a 0, just like how we write it, right? When we write like this, 1 and 0, with the place value, we have 1, 0. And then we can continue on. This is 20, 30, 40. And then you could do this one, 20, 41, 42, 43, 53. And again, 60, 70, 80. I actually have a really cool, so this coloring book is available on Amazon. Let me know if you need, I will put in the link. So I've been kind of coloring, and this is just to add like some creativity to the abacus. And so it comes blank like this, and then you can be as creative as you would like if you're looking for a coloring book, an abacus coloring book. So we have 30, and then what's after 30 for the place value? We have the ones, we have the tens, and then this is 100. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400. And that's it. So it's really interesting when we introduce abacus, counting, doing math with our children when they're young. The abacus is really easy to introduce that. So and then from there we can start doing adding and subtracting. So we have 2 plus 2. Instead of memorizing the doubles, all they have to do is move the beads. We have 2 beads here and 2 beads here, and this makes it 4. So this adds to understanding quantity. And I noticed that when children get into kindergarten, once they learn how to connect the symbol, right? The symbol of the numbers. This is a 6, and then the 4. This specific symbol. Once they learn the symbol, they don't show. They don't. They don't remember the quantity. Whereas in the abacus, it's a gentle reminder of what the quantity is. So when we want to do four, this is four. We remember one, two, three, four. This is four items. And it was really interesting when I was thinking about it because it was like they lose the idea of what a quantity is, and abacus helps to remind them. And we talk about how we always need to be reminded of stuff, and so maybe the reason why they don't have strong math skills is because they forgot what it was like to what the quantities were. So if I did seven, right, I have seven right here. And it was really interesting when I was thinking about it, like when we learn our alphabets, A, B, C, D, if you have it by itself, it really doesn't mean anything. However, you learn your one, two, threes by itself, like a three, we know it's three items of something, right? And so abacus will strengthen and solidify and remind the students, children, that this is three. And that they don't forget what three is because we can all forget we can all forget. And I thought that was really interesting and how abacus is a gentle reminder. The idea of the abacus is to continue on and have this in your mind and be able to picture the abacus so you can move the beads. And yeah, I remember when I first started, my dad was the one that went on a business trip, and he was approached by a mom a mom whose son or daughter had ADHD, and she was like, "You need to go. You need to teach abacus in America." And then my dad had this bright idea. It's like, "I need to teach abacus in America." And he actually didn't teach. He put it upon me and my brother to teach abacus. So I didn't learn abacus when I was a child. I actually learned abacus when I was an adult, just before my son was born, actually. And it was a it was like, why are we learning this? This is like ridiculous. But then as I go through my journey of learning abacus, I find it so easy to be able to relate to numbers now because I have a reminder what the quantities are. And it was trying because the idea in the beginning was we're going to introduce abacus and this is like piano lessons or what have you. And it's like when I'm taking this journey of introducing abacus to everybody's lives, abacus is really just math. Just it's just easier. It's easier with the abacus because you don't need to memorize strategies like how to, do a double. Like if I did 4 plus 4, right? 4, and then I actually have to memorize some building blocks. So there's some building blocks we need to memorize, and that is part of my other book that I created to strengthen. This is what we use as addition fact family. We use the fact family of 1 plus 4 and 3 plus 5. And I have a whole bunch of, and this is like filled with activities and stuff to strengthen the concept of the fact family of 5. That was an interesting journey. And it's interesting because why? When we were learning abacus, it was just a bunch of questions and we just had to go through it. But I actually created workbooks to make it interactive and fun for the children to be able to relate to and understand why we're learning certain things. So this one is a fact family of 4, and they have to know that when we do a 4, we have the 5 and we take away the 1, and we strengthen that idea of the fact family. So that's a little bit about this. And it was really interesting. So to continue on with my story, he was like, "Yeah, we're going to be teaching it." So I've been teaching abacus for more than 20 years now as this recording. 20 years. And going through the ups and downs of just trying to figure out like why are we doing this? And it's understanding now like it's quite fantastic, really. The reason why is because there's all these introductions and it helps children to understand more complex math because they have a stronger math foundation. What does that mean? Well, in abacus, we actually introduce substitution earlier because it's part of the process of learning how to use the abacus. Same thing with counting on. Counting on is a kindergarten skill. So, like when we do 8, right? Counting on means they don't start from 1. They have to start from a different number. And Abacus introduces this concept. So we could do 5, 6, 7, 8. And it comes naturally. So then if they really wanted to, when they get to like school and stuff, and they say, well, you got to figure out how to count count from 6 on. Well, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Because they've already had the practice of counting from 5. So they know that not everything needs to start from 1. And that was the beauty thing about the abacus. The other thing about the abacus is that it also provides place values. We teach children, I think in second grade or first grade, place values. And the place values is already inherently part of the abacus, because if I call this as ones, then my next column over will be my tens, and then have my tens, and then I have my hundreds. And then anything after this is my decimals. So my decimal will be between these two columns. So these two columns is my decimal. This would be tens, and then the hundredths. So that was an interesting thing. I didn't know why Abacus was so cool until I actually started going through the journey. But it also is an investment, because we do math all the time, but we forget that we need to continue to practice it. So I have these activities. So this one was a good one I just created. It's a Christmas counting one, and it goes from 0 to 20. Why do we do 0? We don't do 0 in school, but we have to do 0 in Abacus. Why? Because it's naturally there. This is 0. This is what we know. This is our starting point. This is how we start. And then it makes a lot of sense. Like logically, it makes a lot of sense to start from 0. But in school, we don't start from 0. In school, we start from 1. And then there's this whole unit of 0, the hero. And I'm like, huh, okay, that's an interesting concept. So there's a bunch of things that work with the abacus. And it happens naturally. Like we don't make these connections until I start really thinking about it. Like the symbols, the letters, like JKL, right? Those symbols is the same symbols as 456, but it's not the same, because those symbols cannot be, the letters cannot stand by itself. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm just repeating that. And so that's a little bit about Abacus. And then here is the book. So let's see if I can show my. So here's the book. It's about, how many pages is it? It's about 94 pages. It's about 94 pages. And there's answers. I did answers for these. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then, so we have it where I have an explanation how to read the abacus. So if I have my abacus, this is what it would look like. So here it says, when the top bead touches the beam, right? When the top bead touches the beam, this is counted as 5. So I show the picture of what the abacus looks like, and then this is what the picture looks like of the abacus, and then this is the actual abacus. Again, you can get the abacus from me. I sell it. Just let me know in the comments and I will get back to you. So then I have these things called big brain notes, and it's just an explanation of how to understand 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I have activities. So here, this is activity where we count. I'm showing how to draw the 5. So we start from here, and then we move down and go around, and then we count how many items there are. And then this is the 5 on the abacus. So then when we look, it will look like that, right? That's what this looks like. And then trace the 5, and then the word 5, and then trace the number 5. And then I have more tracing activities. And then here is where we do the 10 frame. 10 frame is being introduced in the kindergarten. I believe it's introduced in kindergarten, but I don't know if they continue on in first grade. But I introduced the 10 frame so they can recognize it, and they put in the dough balls. So Play-Doh, but Play-Doh's trademark. So I only call it dough balls. So we put 5 dough balls here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or wherever, but of the 10 frame. So that is a little bit about the activity. I have a maze where it kind of strengthens. It's another activity, right? That strengthens just how to go and find the abacus in the bottom. What else? Oh, I did like this one, which was find the abacus. Just, ooh, no, not that one. There it is. Find the abacus. This is a introduction of what an abacus would look like, and they would just have to find them. I didn't count how many abacus there was, but it's just something for fun for them to, to just look around and stuff. It's find the abacus. All right. So continuing on. So after we go through, we learn our numbers and we do matching, right? So we have a matching with the number word with the abacus on the side, and then we start doing adding and subtracting on the abacus. And so here, this is an example of how to subtract one. So we have 11. How do I know it's 11? Remember, it's 1 and 1, right? Just like how we write it, 11, and then we take away 1, which is that. So my answer is 10. So that's what I did for here. These are all like minus questions, and then there's adding questions too. So we don't just, there it is. We are adding 3 and 4. So here, if I do 16, I do 1, 6. That's what this is, 16. And then I take away, oh no, I add 3. I add 3, so my answer is 9. Whew, I almost got scared there. So this is my workbook. And then I like this one, which is a maze. This maze helps them to recognize the numbers. And so we have a start here, and they just have to go down and figure out what number is 12. So this is 12, this is 12. And then hopefully the children will trace all of the words and the numbers, and then they can color in the active beads on the abacus. So I'd color this, 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 and this, and this. So, but then we start the actual maze, we go from here to here because this is not 12 and it's only up and down. It's not across. It's only up and down. And then you could talk about prepositions like left, right, top, bottom. And then if there's an empty space like this empty space is where you put dough balls. More dough balls. Play-Doh at its best. Right? So we have 4 dough balls, or you could do like dough sticks or what have you, but you can be a little creative with the empty space. And it's just to give you an idea. But then from here, where do we go to find 12? And so I show how the word 12 is also counted. So you just kind of go in, and that's the pattern. I like this maze. I thought it was fun. And so that would be about it. There's a lot of matching and a lot of tracing to practice their fine motor skills. Is there cutting? Oh, there should be cutting. Yes, cutting. So this is okay. So this one, you have to be careful. This one says answer the number before the board numbers. Answers the number before. So here, if this is 10, what is before 10? 10 is 9. So we go look for 9. There it is. Ooh, there it is. 9. So we actually have to cut out all of these puzzle pieces and place it onto the puzzle board. And that's my book. This is like an overview, just a brief overview of my book. Whew. It goes to 20. We're counting forward, we're counting backwards, and then answers. I made answers. I didn't do answers the first book, but I will continue on making answers for all my other books. So this is my book. I hope you like it. Thank you again for joining me, learning a little bit about the abacus and my journey in the abacus world, and why I think it's greatest thing. It's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. And my books. So I would start off with this one, which is counting from 0 to 10, and then after that, you'd be ready for my next book. And then I have more books coming in. But yeah, let me know if you're interested and leave a comment below. So again, my name is Lynette, and I hope to see you soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.